the night the sky exploded. On the warm evening of July 17th, 1996, thousands along Long Island's coast watched a peaceful sunset fade into darkness. But at 8:31 p.m., the sky suddenly burst into flame, tearing apart a Boeing 747 in a fiery explosion so violent it shook windows on the shore. Witnesses froze as a streak of light rose into the sky. Then the night erupted into a massive fireball, raining burning debris into the Atlantic Ocean. This was TWA Flight 800, and in less than 1 second, 230 souls vanished. A moment of beauty became a moment of horror. Inside the plane, parents, students, tourists, business travelers, all settling into their seats for an overnight flight to Paris. Laughter mingled with the soft click of seatbelts. A group of teenagers buzzed excitedly about their first international school trip. No one imagined that this flight, filled with life and plans, was heading toward one of the deadliest aviation disasters in U.S. history. As the aircraft waited on the tarmac, one thing went unnoticed. A deadly mix of heated fuel vapors in the center wing fuel tank. A silent danger. A bomb without a bomber. Somewhere inside the aging wiring system, an unseen spark waited. A spark that would ignite a catastrophe. The 747 lifted from JFK gracefully, slicing through the summer air. Captain Stephen Snyder and First Officer Ralph Gosselin guided the aircraft upward as the coastline shrank below. Climbing through 13,000 feet, everything appeared routine. Passengers settled back. Flight attendants prepared for meal service. The world felt normal. But deep inside the wings, heat, pressure, and electricity were building toward a disaster no one could stop. At 8:31 p.m., radar screens captured the last steady blip of TWA 800. Then, boom, a shockwave ripped through the aircraft. The center wing fuel tank exploded with the force of a battlefield blast. The plane tore apart in midair, its nose shearing off instantly, its fuselage breaking into pieces. Fishermen, boaters, and families on shore watched as a tower of flame lit the night sky. The aircraft, once whole and alive, became a falling constellation of fire. Emergency teams raced toward the burning debris scattered across miles of ocean. All they found were fragments: metal, luggage, seats, clothing, floating like tragic reminders of lives shattered in seconds. There were no survivors. 230 men, women, and children had disappeared into the sea. Immediately, the world demanded answers. Rumors exploded almost as fast as the aircraft. A bomb? A missile? A terrorist attack? Witness accounts of a streak of light only fueled the panic. Nothing this violent felt like an accident. But the truth was buried under over 13,000 pieces of wreckage scattered across the seabed. The NTSB launched a 4-year investigation, raising wreckage from the ocean, reconstructing the jet inside a hangar like a giant metallic skeleton. Piece by piece, the story emerged. Aged wiring, electrical faults, overheated vapors, spark inside the center wing fuel tank. It wasn't terrorism. It wasn't sabotage. It was a catastrophic mechanical failure. Quiet, invisible, deadly. The tragedy of TWA 800 pushed the world to rethink aircraft safety. Fuel tanks redesigned. Inerting systems added. Wiring inspections strengthened. Electrical standards rewritten. The disaster became a turning point. A line dividing what aviation was from what aviation needed to become. Today, a memorial stands overlooking the Atlantic. The names of the 230 victims carved into stone. The waves crash below. The same waves that carried the wreckage, the memories, the final moments. Every sunset over Long Island echoes that night. The night the sky erupted. The night TWA Flight 800 went silent. The night a routine flight became a tragedy that reshaped aviation forever.